Now, on Monday night, we had our very first mother of all talk show, Roadshows. It was in Stockport in Greater Manchester. The next one will be in January, maybe February, in Sunderland. Not many of you have been to Sunderland, but you should go and maybe even take in a football match. They're a very, very great watch, especially this season. The mother of all talk shows, Roadshow, packed them in. It sold out 7 whole weeks before the show. As a matter of fact, we should have done 2 nights, because even on the night, we had people turning up looking to get in, even though it was long sold out. It starred, well, me really, but as you'll see in this clip from it, my children also played a role. Unwitting to me, they took to the stage, I don't know, like fish to water. Take a look at how it was. That's me! Thank you. Thanks very much, everyone, for coming to the mother of all.
What are you going to be talking about tonight on the show?
Well, it's the mother of all roadshows, so it's connected to the mother of all talk shows. So we'll be talking about where that came from. It's the best part of 20 years now it's been running, but for the last 184 editions, it's been on television rather than on radio, and going from strength to strength. 640 million views, which is, I mean, totally phenomenal. Thank you very much. But of course, I'll talk about my life, how I got here from the boy born in an attic in a slum in Dundee, the boy that got turned away from the poor children's holiday because I didn't have gym shoes. I'm not making that up. And how I became whatever it is I've become. And then of course I'll be taking questions, so I can't predict. Anyone can ask anything that they like, and I'll do my best to answer it. All my children are here, well, not all of them. 3 of my 6 children are here, and they'll be filming and conducting interviews and so on, or even photobombing me as my youngest daughter, no, my middle daughter, Orla Dean George Galloway, has just done. It was on Talksport, and then it was on WBAI. So the mother of all talk shows was a New York radio show for a time. Every single week, women would call the show and say, I don't have a question for you, Mr. Galloway, but could you just say the word murder? And I'd put on my best Taggart accent and lean forward to the microphone and say, murder. And they would giggle and run away, and that was it. In fact, Winston Churchill was Prime Minister when I was born. Don't tell the wife, she thinks I'm 45. But Churchill was the Prime Minister. I was born into an Irish enclave or ghetto or slum. I have, some bad childhood memories that I suspect will be revisited on many families this winter. I recall very, very well, with only me and my sister in the house, a man coming to the door to cut off the electricity. I can remember his agonizing, even though I was a kid, and then his announcement that he wasn't going to cut the electric off and leave 2 children in the cold. But that's going to be a reality for many, many people in this winter that has already begun.
Good evening, guys. How are you? You're a listener of the show. Yeah. How long have you been?
Only about 6 months, but I know George. I know George Galloway.
Yeah.
For some reason, I only just came across his YouTube channel.
And that was one of the reasons why I was on YouTube actually, I was trying to find out what his take was on the world that's happening. And then we found the show, and we went back and watched all the show.
Really? Now we don't stop.
I like Scott Ritter. Yeah, he's like one of the best guys. And I can't remember her name. There's this lady that used to come on. She used to be on IT America.
Yeah, Rachel.
Rachel.
Levin.
Yeah. Great.
Gonzalo Lira gave us a little bit of a shock.
How can I forget him? Yes.
So, you know, when George highlighted like Gonzalo's apparent disappearance at the time,
Everyone was dead worried.
You have to tune in to see what's happening with Gonzalo.
So we love the show. We're huge supporters of George. We'd vote for him. We voted for him in the past, you know. When
Labour,
politics.
respect.
What, in Manchester?
Yeah.
Do a Moats every day. We support that.
Really? How long have you been watching, listening?
Forever.
185 episodes.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How long have you been in the audience of Moats?
Oh, about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But you don't call into the show?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Have you called in?
Quite a lot. I'm Wayne from Cheshire.
Wayne from Cheshire? Oh, Mr. Robert, it's nice to meet you.
In real life.
Hey, likewise.
We've always had a large number of people who knew nothing. But now we've got a large number of people who think they know something. But that what they think they know is oftentimes the opposite of the truth. The Royal Navy thinks it can steam through the Straits of Taiwan at will, but can't stop hundreds of dinghies coming across the channel from France. That doesn't make any sense to me. The British are very reserved. They're very slow to act, not like the French. When P&O shamefully sacked all of its workers, giving them 60 minutes to get off the ship. 60 minutes! The British staff got off the boat in 60 minutes. The French staff seized the boats, sailed them into the channel and set them on fire.
Yeah, tune into the Moats every Sunday. My dad sort of brought George into the house. We also donate on Patreon, Workers' Party member as well.
Fantastic. So good to know. Check.
I've recently brought my friend.
Yeah, you got a convert here.
Yeah, oh definitely.
Do you like the current format?
Yes. Yeah. It's very relatable, even for like newcomers.
Yeah.
People have been following George for years, but I'm relatively new compared to them. So yeah, it's been eye-opening. The calls are great. Favourite guests, Roger Walters.
I think my favourite part of the show in general is the truth behind everything, not looking past everything else in the media and politics. People are so subject to listening to what everybody else is saying. We don't want to listen to what's actually going on. I think that's what I like the most, definitely.
We believe in Britain. We believe in the British. We believe that the working class are the British, and that the achievements of Britain are the achievements of the British working class. We supported the independence of Britain. Anyone up the back there? Well, there's a lady at the front. I always prefer the women, if you know what I mean. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, George. George, when I've been talking to people about the Nord Stream bombing, blowing that up, they've really challenged me about where the source for that information came from. And I've listened to you, and I want to ask you again tonight, what am I going to say to those people? What was the source? Because I want to say to them, look, this really did happen. We blew that up.
Well, that's why I carefully use my words about setting it up and execution. It's my belief, and I have good reason to believe it, that the British SBS frogmen placed locators on the junctions of the two pipelines, only one of which was destroyed, so the gang that couldn't shoot straight made a bit of a mess of the second one, and the locators were used for American missiles that flew all the way from the United States in order to carry out the bombing run. The Baltic, they boast, is a NATO sea. Cui bono, who benefits?
So, how's it going?
I'm really enjoying the evening.
Yeah.
And I agree almost entirely with everything George says. Favourite part are his guests, because he has access to very knowledgeable people, so it's always interesting to get their insights. So I usually watch it the following day. I don't watch it live, but we do watch the entire show.
Especially the monologue, I like that, because that's like gets you up to date with where everything that's happened in between the last one. It's a good summary of what's happened so far.
So, how was that?
It was absolutely brilliant. It was top, wasn't it? I was gripped to every word. I've listened to the Moats every week. George came on my radar about 2010 when there was young person's question time. And he was on there saying they had 3 cheeks of the same abs. And I told it to all my friends and they started watching it. So I used to listen to talk radio ages ago when I was younger. And then listen to, I pretty much gone through every clip on YouTube of the talk radio stuff. Like you said, drunk Dougie ringing up from Eastern Beirut and getting absolutely destroyed. I was having a chat in there. I'm going to ring up on Sunday.
Please, you can tell them all about it tonight. And do you have a favorite guest or caller? Well, obviously Norma is your favorite caller, but guest?
Norma's my favourite, probably. Chris Williamson, when he was on, was very impressive, and no one else was putting him on.
How was tonight?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
But basically you're preaching to the choir.
Well, we watch Moats every morning for breakfast.
For breakfast?
Yeah, we do playback. And we go, put George on, put Moats on. And can't believe how he's done that from his own front room and the ingenuity. But what we've always found is, who's he going to have on? And what's he going to tell us? Let's find out what's really going on. Let's see what George is saying. You love it, don't you?
He has great people like Scott Ritter on, Jason Hinkle. It was when the Ukraine war started, I was flabbergasted by the level of propaganda. I've never seen anything like. So I started to read consortium news.
Yep.
And George was he was the one where we felt, we were getting our news from.
And then I started getting Moats.
Yeah.
The whole world.
No, we have to watch Moats. We have to watch Moats.
Any favorite guests?
Obviously with the war going on at the moment, Scott Ritter.
What part of the Moats show do you like best?
I like, the interviews he does with interesting people.
Yeah.
And as he said himself, he's a good agitator.
I can almost say I'm not politically aligned with probably a lot of people that are in this room, but I think we all share the same fears.
Yeah.
So on that level, it's like we're all one.
Great.
You are listening to the mother of all talk shows with George Galloway.